But despite the disturbing scenes we have seen of the January 6th insurrection and what we think we know about that day, many unknowns still exist. Among them, the actions of then President Trump, who was silent for more than 3 hours as his supporters wreaked havoc inside the Capitol. That is one area under examination by the bipartisan House committee investigating the January 6th attack. Representative Bennie Thompson, Democrat from Mississippi, chairs that committee. I spoke with him a short time ago. Congressman Thompson, thank you very much for joining us. You should know you received a vote of confidence today from Vice President Harris. When I spoke with her, she said she has a full confidence that you and your committee will get to the bottom of what happened on January the 6th. My question to you is, are you equally confident and that you will also get to the bottom of the complicity of the former president?
I thank the Vice President for a vote of confidence. I can assure everyone who's looking at this show that our committee will do its dead level best to conduct a thorough investigation on the facts and circumstances that occurred on January 6th and make recommendations, if adopted, so that it won't ever happen again. What we had occur on January 6th was a clear threat to our democracy.
Your committee has received thousands of pages of records, of documents. You have interviewed, I saw, more than 300 witnesses. Can you say who or what has been most helpful to you so far? And does that include people who were in the room with former President Trump during the time of this assault?
We've had cooperation from just about every walk of life, but I'm real concerned about some of the information we're gathering. It appears that the White House was not listening to what was happening on January 6th. That 187 minutes, as you've come to hear about, there was just too much time between what started here at the Capitol and the inaction of the White House that gives me pause that clearly our president at that time, Donald Trump, could have done more.
Congressman, you've spoken of your interest in having access to video recordings the former president made before he made the video that was finally released. Who has possession of those videos, and do you believe you're going to get them?
We believe we'll get them if the Supreme Court agrees with our position. If so, our request to archives to give us that information will be honored. We believe that that request will include those various edits of tape that ultimately went on the cutting floor that took so long for the president just to say to people he invited to the Capitol to stop doing what you're doing. This is illegal. It's not who we are as Americans. But that 187 minutes, we believe, is so important to the body of work for our committee.
You've also said that you have asked the former Vice President, Mike Pence, to cooperate. Do you believe he will? Will he talk to your committee?
Well, we do know that Vice President resisted President Trump's pressure. We need to hear a voluntary statement from former Vice President Pence as to what he knows about this situation. Because after all, at the end of the day, because he stood up for the rule of law, individuals who broke into the Capitol wanted to hang him. He knows those comments that we are gradually getting from various people, that no better source than the source itself, and in this situation, it's the Vice President.
Are you getting signals he'll cooperate?
Not at this point. We do plan to officially ask him to voluntarily come in. He's under a lot of pressure. As you know, a lot of members of Congress who are very upset on January 6th and January 7th have changed their story. Some, like former President Trump, are trying to say we need to move on. Well, Congress has a responsibility to look into what happened.
Last question, Chairman Thompson, and that is, you know that a number of Republican members of the House are saying that your committee is partisan, that it's one-sided in its approach. And just yesterday on the NewsHour, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to what Republican Congressman Troy Nehls of Texas said. He described the committee as, quote, Speaker Pelosi's select committee. Bennie Thompson is the puppet, and she is the puppet master.
You know, now this is somebody who voted against a committee made up of 50% appointed by Pelosi and 50% appointed by Republican leader McCarthy. My position is those individuals who voted against it don't want the truth to come out. But thank goodness Speaker Pelosi took the leadership mantle by recommending this select committee to Congress, and the Congress of the House approved it, and we'll do our work. So the congressman is entitled to his opinion, but in this situation, he's dead wrong.
Chairman Bennie Thompson, who is the chair of the Select Committee investigating the attack on the Capitol on January 6th. Congressman, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.